Hey everybody, I'm back. Today I'm going to do a video on container gardening and how to do it in a very, very small area, and it's really easy to do. We'll go over eggshell slug bait and other uses for eggshells, and I will explain why other videos were not posted after I said I would post them. Okay, so first I'll explain the other videos. The barbecue bomb video, somebody at the house was drinking too much, and when I went to the store to get non-alcoholic beverages, they forgot we were making a video and cooked all the food while we were gone. So there was nothing to do an instruction video with except for how to eat it. I don't know what that was. And what was the other one? The chicken wire leaf composting. Somebody brought me chicken wire. I needed a piece that was 6 feet by about 4 feet, and I think they misunderstood my measurements and brought me a 2.5 foot by about 3 foot piece, so it wasn't big enough to do the video with. And then I did a video driving to the coast a few weeks ago, and we hit a big nice snowy mountain on the way there, and I forgot to turn my headphones off, so you couldn't really hear what I was saying. I was kind of muffled, but you could hear the other people in the car, so it just kind of sounded like I was being kidnapped, so I didn't post that one. So this one, we're going to try to make this one work. And other people have been telling me, giving me ideas for my channel, and I'm not going to do a lot of the suggestions. One of the suggestions was do a makeup instruction video. I don't wear makeup. I could really care less, and so that's out of the question. And then I was told, well, people like to watch like really quick 5-minute instructional videos, and that's kind of out of the question. Blind people don't really do anything really fast, and my channel is mainly for trying to help people with visual disabilities. So if my videos are boring and kind of long, you could probably just skip on to another channel. And I don't want to sound rude or anything, but I really don't care. So this channel is for blind people. Anybody is welcome to join us, and hopefully you can learn something. A lot of it is stuff people already know how to do, but they don't know how to do it with visual disability, and that is the purpose of my channel. I'm not going to talk politics. I'm not going to talk about other channels. I'll talk about other products because I think it's important to know which ones are good and which ones are not. So, with all that said, let's get started. First, I want to talk about slug bait. And Miss Corey, you'll probably have to come over here and put the camera into the pot. I use eggshells, and I'm going to demonstrate why. This is a top of the line, over the counter, food friendly, pet friendly slug bait. It's called Sluggo, and as you can see, all it really did was mold. It sat in the pot and molded. I followed the directions. I got the soil wet first, I sprinkled it, and also, well, I've been using Sluggo. The slugs have been eating my strawberries. So we're going to scoop all this out, and we're going to put eggshell in here. It happened in every pot. In this pot, the leaves are not growing very well, but the berries are. And I think it might be because of the Sluggo. There is so much mold on it. And it's been raining real hard the last week. But that still, it shouldn't do that. And this pot's just as bad. See, and it's just coming out in molded clumps. That's nasty. So we're going to clean all that out and put eggshell in. First, we're going to crush the eggshells. I'll show you how to do that. Eggshells are handy for more than just slug bait. They're great to give back to your chickens, and it's kind of cannibalistic, but that's kind of how nature works. If you crush up your eggshells, mix it in with your chicken scratch, they'll eat it with that, and you'll have beautiful, nice shells on their eggs. And Also for chickens, baby chickens, take a round shallow dish, and 3 of them actually, for your firstborn chicks when they first start eating. Have one with your scratch in it, with eggshells crushed in it, and have another one with scrambled eggs in it, and then another dish with warm, fresh, unpasteurized, not from a store, either goat's milk or cow's milk, and they will love it. You'll have beautiful, healthy chickens when they grow up. They'll be happy, and their first production of eggs will be beautiful as well. I don't remember what I was going to say. Chickens, if you have chickens, you never really have to throw any of it away. And this sounds really bad too, but it works. If you take like your chicken legs or whatever part of your chicken that has bones after you're done eating it, and you just throw it out where your chickens feed, they'll eat the meat off of there, and then take your bones and clean them off real good, let them dry, and then you can crush those up and add them to your garden soil, and your plants will love it. It'll be bone meal for them. So anytime you have chickens, you can reuse every part of it. Most of it back to the chickens. And make sure that those dishes for the baby chicks are shallow and round, and they will jump into it. They'll be all in it, and they will be eating it while they're standing in it. But they'll love it, and your chickens will be very healthy. So, easiest way for me to deal with the eggshells is to put them in a paper bag and just roll a rolling pin on them. I got this big bucket of eggshells. Now, I don't even really like eggs. I don't like the taste of them. I think they're kind of gross. So I use them for German pancakes mostly. I do like potato salad with eggs in it. So I've got this bucket full of shells here. It's a pot planter, and it's about 2/3 full. And I'm just going to use my hand, and I'm putting them into a paper bag. It says grocery outlet on it. You can always leave them in the bucket and take a stick from the kindling pile or something and just smash them up in there like you would with a mortar and pestle. I do it this way because it's easier for me to know that I got them all. I'm actually on a mission because that slug bait really made me mad. They had to make it more pet friendly than it used to be, I think, and they kind of ruined it. So get your eggshells into the bag, lay it flat. Try to get them in an even layer in there, or not. I'm using a rolling pin made out of Italian marble. It weighs about 3 pounds. If you have a wooden one, you can always just resort to bashing them. But this rolling pin will smash anything. So that's what I'm going to use. And just flip it over a couple times. My table's wet and it's got mud on it. Also, I was told that when I do my videos to not wear my big dark glasses because I look grim. So, I don't really care. When it's overcast out, it's more bright on my eyes than a sunny day is. Or if I'm doing a barbecue video and there's a lot of smoke, I'm putting my glasses on. Like I said, this channel is for visually impaired people. You're probably not going to see much of it anyway. And I forgot my hair tie. Then you can just go in with your hand, squish it up some more. The key is to make sure you leave your eggshells out to dry for about a week or more. That way all the membrane that's left inside is dry, and you can get smaller pieces from that. Just keep squishing it with your hands inside. You can feel it. Okay, that should do it.
Okay,
That is correct, Susan.
we're back on.
Okay, we're back on. I just dumped them out of the bag and put them into a drain tray for a large plastic pot. These drain trays like this would be perfect for your scrambled eggs, your goat's milk, and scratch for your baby chickens. They can get right in there. Not far for them to jump at all. Where's that bad one? This one's really bad. Can you turn that off, Corey? I gotta get this hair out of. Okay. I have to get that hair out of my face. So I'm gonna use my little container shovel here. It's just your standard little hand shovel. And I'm gonna get that slug bait out of here. I'm gonna take a layer of soil with it in case the mold got down into the soil. I'm just gonna throw it right over there. Keep the slugs out of that area maybe. Now I don't know why this molded like this. I do know that when my sister put it out in her garden, she had to fight with her cat to keep her from eating it. She just... Was that a bee?
I don't know.
She just wanted to eat that slug bait so bad. She ended up attacking my sister. I've got 3 different pots of strawberries. I've got early bearing June ones. I've got Hood River berries, which are local, and they bear all summer long. And then one called a quinault. I've never heard of it. The tag says organic, okay, and non-GMO. And so far, every berry on it has been deformed. So I don't know what that's all about with the non-GMO and deformed food. They were bought locally. There's not a lot of room in this yard for a garden because it's very naturally planted. So I cleared all the blackberries out of this side and moved my work table over here. It's not a very big area at all. It's probably 8 by 5 area. You can grow a lot of food in an area this small by doing container gardening. Container gardening is the best, especially if you don't see very well. It's great for weed control, pest control. It's a lot easier. You really don't get any weeds at all. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the eggshells and I'm replacing where I took out the molded Sluggo. And I'm going to go heavy on this in the strawberry pots because the slugs have already been in here and they possibly could have already laid eggs into the soil. So I need to go heavy, and it won't keep the water from going into the soil. Water goes right around it. Calcium is very good for the soil, especially strawberries. So for a small area container gardening, you'll want to do mostly plants that grow straight up. Not really vining or bushy plants since you're having a small area. Potatoes are really good. Potatoes you can grow anywhere. You can grow potatoes in a garbage bag. You can grow them in a stack of tires. I wouldn't recommend. That just always seemed kind of weird to me. The rubber and all. You can grow them in any kind of a pot. You can grow them in a 5-gallon bucket. I'm not sure what size mine is, but it's pretty big. I'll show it to you in a minute. So what I've done is I've covered the top of the soil all the way up to the crowns of the plants with the eggshells. It's been raining all week, so I'm not going to water them. Everybody's pretty drenched. And I'm going to hope this works better than the Sluggo did. I'll come back in the sun. I'm not trained to make videos. I don't even know how. So anything I do, I'm trying to do it the best for somebody to understand. This is the second pot of strawberries. This is the quinault ones. It says great for containers, non-GMO. Here's Corey, can you come up a little closer here? This is how the non-GMO berries are coming out. I don't know
like
if
it's got some slug chew on it too.
Yeah, this one actually looked like Kermit the Frog or a chameleon, and I posted him on my Facebook page. I came out the next morning and Slug ate right up the side of it, and this pot is full of slug bait. So, not happy with a couple things there. For one, I don't know what requires a plant to be labeled non-GMO. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know what how they figure it, because this one's growing better than any of them. The leaves are lusher, but the berries are messed up. See that? A slug bait. That is just terrible. I think that's what was killing one of my artichokes. Okay, so small area container gardening. I've got 2 5-gallon buckets. They're down here. I got one here. I think one's over here.
Ooh, careful.
Here it is, right here. These are just green globe artichokes, and for the first year, they'll do great in a 5-gallon bucket. The second year, you'll want to transplant them because they are perennial. They come back every year. They come back bigger and bigger every year. They don't require much, just some standard food. I use Alaska fish fertilizer for everything. Seems to work good. It's liquid, just liquid fish poo, and you mix it with water, and just, see, there's more Sluggo in there, and then just water them. You know, hit them about once every 2 weeks with some Alaska fish fertilizer. Is that a bug? What's that? It was dirt.
It's dirt.
Okay. And then I have red potatoes in this large pot here. I think it's probably about a 3-gallon pot, 4-gallon. I think it's 5.
Maybe
Possibly
closer to 5.
5-gallon pot. For potatoes in a container, even in a garbage bag. Fill the bottom with only like 4 to 6 inches of soil. Put your seed potato in there, and then cover them with dirt, mounding the dirt on top of them. And then as they grow, and they get about 2 or 3 inches tall, just keep piling the dirt up until it's to the top of the leaves. Just keep doing that all the time, and then probably by right around August, this will be all the way full with dirt, and then the foliage will just be out here like this. But make sure you plant them shallow enough that you can keep building around them, because the new potatoes grow from right at where the crown is at the top, on the stems, and so you want to keep those buried, and so they keep growing, and then those will go down, and then new ones keep coming up. So you just want to build the soil up around them as they grow. Like I said, about 2-3 inches, you'll want to mound the soil up. It's getting hot. And then in this pot, I have what's called a half-length carrot. They're great for little container gardening, for containers that aren't very deep, or for soil area that aren't very deep. I've been thinning them out, but it looks like I need to thin them out some more. So those are great for container. I think they're called Nantes half length, something like that. I bought all my seeds at my local feed store. It's just down the street. So if you go to your feed store or whatever, just tell them you want the half-length carrots and they'll show you all the different varieties. I think half-lengths come in the colored ones, like the purples and the yellows and the different color orange. This one's been having some issues. As you can see, every time I pick it up, a piece of the pot falls off. This is chives, because I eat baked potatoes a lot. Same thing with chives. As they grow, you'll start seeing the white part come up out of the soil. And so you just put more dirt around it. That's why I planted them so shallow. And which is good. And it also has punch hole drains in the bottom, drain holes in the bottom. But I didn't know they hadn't been punched. And so this week with all the rain, I came out this morning, it was just filled up completely up with water. And when I picked it up, more of the pot fell off. But I did get the holes punched and it drained real well. But I don't know how they're gonna come out. So I'll probably just do another pot of them. And then this one, if it makes it, it does. If not, it won't.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so the point to that story was, if you buy these long, shallow boxes like this, check the bottom for the punch holes for the drain. I ended up using my house key. And in this pot here is, I think they're called giant Musselburgh Scottish leeks. I don't really eat leeks. I'm growing them for somebody else just to see how they do in a pot. So I think they're going to do really good. They're very large, so I'll be thinning out a lot of these seedlings. I think probably by the size of the dimensions on the seed packet, probably do about 6 of them in this pot. If not, I'll pull them out and just have 3. Which else?
The ones right in front of the leeks.
Right in front of the leeks are herbs. Not only are they good for cooking, tea, you can make tea, whatever. They're also good for companion planting, and they're natural pesticides, a lot of them. This one's 2 different kinds of nasturtium. It's really good for pest control, and they're also edible. You can make salads with the leaves. Kind of spicy, like black pepper. Great for pest control. And this one is rosemary. You can do just about anything with rosemary, but it's great for pest control. Especially if you just come out and rub the leaves a little bit like this now and then. It releases the aroma, and then the bugs will scatter. They do not like that.
I think we used it in our chicken video, actually. The barbecue.
I cook with it almost every day. I love that rosemary. This is lemon verbena. It grows very tall and gets tall spikes of small pink flowers. The bees love it. And you can make tea with the leaves. You can cook with them. They have a nice lemony, a very mild lemony aroma to them when you bake with it. You can dry the leaves and flowers and steep them into a tea and add them to your bath water. It's lovely. Mix it with the rosemary. Do that and mix it in with your bath water. And this is oregano up here. Great for pest control. And if you grow it around your strawberries, it will help enhance the flavor of your strawberries. It's called companion planting. Also, if you grow tomatoes, you can grow basil, parsley, rosemary. Grow it around the base of your tomato plants, and it'll help enhance the flavor and help keep the bugs off of them. And this one back here is everybody's garden favorite for pest control. This is a marigold, member of the calendula family. They like lots of water. Putting them in a small clay pot like this is not a good idea. I'm going to be taking it out. If it gets just a little bit dry, the leaves wilt, the flowers wilt. And this one has lots and lots of new growth coming up on it, so I'm going to be transplanting it into a plastic pot. And you can have it around any of your plants. It's not going to hurt them. You don't need to use any slug bait on it either. Most of the herbs you don't need to use slug bait on, especially the rosemary. I don't care for the taste of that. The artichokes, there's different kinds of artichoke. These are basic green globe artichokes. The plant will probably get about 4 or 5 feet high, and produce a good amount for the first year. But like I said, 5-gallon bucket, great the first year, transplant it for the second year. And that's it for the plants that I'm growing because this is such a small area. It was all blackberries and the laurels. And so I cleared it all out and got the ground all cleaned up. Moved the table over here. I kept everything on the table while they were small so that they were closer and getting more sunlight. Now that they're getting bigger, I'm going to be moving them down. And I'm cutting that branch off of the tree up there that's shading them and dropping pine needles into them. I didn't think about that. So something to think about if you're clearing an area like this. Check the tree above. See what it's going to be dropping onto your plants. I remember. It was something else. I don't remember. Okay, you can stop it for a minute. I had such a hard time with the chives and its planter. I'll be moving them into this one. It's longer and it's deeper and it's a lot more sturdy. So that's one of my plans after the video. I have a whole packet of nasturtium seeds. I'm going to be starting them indoors and then I'm going to be bringing them outdoors. And I'm going to be planting them in the ground just all around here and see what grows and see if that'll help keep bugs away. And I'll leave these in the pot. And I have more seeds for the carrots, chives, and leeks, so I can always keep a steady crop of those going. Once your seedlings for your carrots, your chives, and your leeks get about 4 inches high, plant new rows in between the rows that are growing of seeds. So by the time you're harvesting your first rows, your second rows will be starting to get ready. You'll have a continuous crop. These leeks will be the last ones to bolt in the garden at the end of the season. They'll be the last to go to seed. It was guaranteed on the package. So I'm not really into leeks, but like I said, I'm growing them for a friend to see if we can do it in a pot. The drain trays, I do have drain trays for all the pots. You want drain trays when you're doing container gardening. You should be using potting soil, really, really good container potting soil, very rich in nutrients. And every time you water, the water comes out the bottom of the pot, you're losing nutrients. So you'll want your trays under there because the soil will reabsorb that water and you won't be losing all your nutrients. But when it's raining, come out and empty your trays now and then because you don't want them just sitting there swimming in water. Otherwise you'll have what happened to the chives. And then this table here I just made out of an old Rubbermaid tote. I flipped it upside down and put a piece of plywood on it. This is the work table I worked on last year doing the barbecue videos. I just pulled it over to this side of the yard. But now that everybody's getting bigger, I can move them to the ground. So what I'll do is take this cover off, and it's black on the other side, and move the table out, and I'll put this on the ground for weed block with the silver side down. And then I'll probably put pallets and wood stumps to set the pots on. Try to keep those slugs out. And then just because, and that's another thing I'm going to do once I get the weed block down and get the pots on top of it, I'm going to sprinkle eggshells all over the weed block to keep those slugs out. Because they're winning the battle right now because I used the commercial slug bait. And I'm not going to do that ever again. And if you don't have that many eggshells, just have your friends and neighbors save them for you if they eat them. A lot of them. But if you have chickens yourself, you should have plenty of them. And like I said, feed them back to your chickens and you'll have good eggs. And let's see, there was something else. Oh, for the soil I'm just using, this is called, it's just all natural potting soil mix.
From Kellogg's?
Yeah, from Kellogg brand. And it's for plants and vegetables and fruits. for ornamentals and for edibles. And the hose doesn't reach to this side of the house, but a watering can, even if your hose reaches, a watering can is always good to have, especially one that has one of the
Sprinkler.
yeah, sprinkler thing on there. This one actually comes off in case you just want a steady stream, and then goes here. This is one of the best cans I've ever had, and I got it at the grocery outlet for $3. It's really a good one. And I'll be using these clay pots here for the oregano and for the lemon verbena, because they grow fast. They grow fast and they grow big. I don't know if I'm doing this good enough so that people with visual disability can get anything out of it. If you go to the comment section and tell me what I need to do, or if there's something you want me to do a video on, I will see what I can do about that. Also, another reason I didn't make videos for a long time, YouTube keeps pulling channels that I watch all the time for one ridiculous reason or another, and I've had to go to other platforms to find them. And so I got over that. I was mad about that for a long time. So I'll be doing more videos now. And just leave them in the comment section what you want to see. If you have any suggestions for me, I can do my videos better. I take constructive criticism very well, but you don't have to be mean about it. And make sure you check your plants every day and take off anything yellow, wilted, eaten, so your plant doesn't put all of its energy into trying to fix that plant, that leaf. If the slugs eat your berry, get it off there right away. If you get one that's coming out deformed, get it off there right away. I saved them on here so I could do the video. Now I'm going to cut them off so the plant can make better ones. Okay, that's all I have for today. Everybody have a good day and God bless.